This is Baruch Fleischman. We're going to start, the Zaman is going to start next week. I have to go to, I think it's going to start maybe the week after, or next week, I don't know which. I have to go to Montana next week for a wedding. So that's going to be an experience out by Yellowstone. And as a result of that, the real Zaman is going to start the week probably after that, but we'll see how it goes. Right now, we're going to get into the Sifra that's Niuta, brought to us by the Sheba in Area called the Keser V'Hakavod. Today, so we need to look at the other one as well.
About 6:40.
Okay, so we have 20 minutes each, approximately. So let's go to the Sifra Tzniut. That's our main limud here, and I was thinking of starting over on page Kuf Lamed Gimel. It would be another reading. It would be like our third reading, but I really don't remember the whole thing exactly. And I just want just to dive into the middle, because actually where we got to was page Kuf Lamed Vav. So there's a little water under that bridge. So we'll see what we could do. So I'd like to read the introduction, if it's okay with you, and then start getting back into this, or actually just read the words of Rabbi Shimon. On Kuf Lamed Gimel, it says, Galufe de Galifim. So this is a country of carving out something. We're trying to understand how the Keilim are made. Kecheza de Chivya, but this carving, apparently, it looks like it has the appearance of a snake, arich, which is long. And then he says, Mispashet lakana, and it spreads, it's not clear exactly where it's spreading to here and to here. So one side to another. Zanba Beresha, so then he says, maybe this is what it means. It means that it makes a circle. That is, its tail is by its head. So then he says, Resha, Achid Kaspin. So the head, whatever head we're talking about here, it joins together at the shoulders. And then he says, very difficult to understand, then it says, Avar V'Zayim Natir. So again, apparently, I try to find this word Avar. V'Zayim. Zayim means foaming, like that, I think. So it must mean Lashon Din. That's what the Pirish says over here. Not there, he guards that. And then it says, Begon is Chad La'elef Yamin Ze'irin. And it's hidden Chad La'elef, one time in 1,000 days, a small days, whatever that means. Yamin Ze'irin, whatever that means. So let's try to figure out what the subject is. So he says, Acha Shabir, so I've gone back to page Kuf Lamed Gimel. I'm just reading the introduction here, and we could actually stop and look at anything that we want to. We've seen it before, but let's see if we can get the ideas out, and it's like a fresh look now too. So now that we got to this concept of tohu, so we made a deep discussion of what that 7,000 years are going to be, the 7th millennium is going to be like. So he says, now that we got to that, Yivayr Atach begin to the Sefesh Shal Tohu. So let's talk about something in addition about Tohu. Shahu in his pashtus adinim b'sod nachash b'tanim de kedusha. So he says the Tohu actually also spreads. It's a very difficult thing to understand that we're dealing here with. Spreads out to the dinim Shehu Inyan, his pashtus hadin is spreading the din besod nachash v'tan in the kedusha, was they spread in the kedusha take away. So then he said v'yivor ki shorsham v'chasadim v'gevur shal melech hadash shemei. So their root is the root of what? Of this snake. The snake of kedusha is in the root is with the Chasadim Begavur Shal Melech Hadas Shemeis. Now he's saying that on the Melech Hadas the Meis, in Das, I guess, has Chasadim Begavuros in it. So he's talking about the Benemius of that Das. So it says Sheniz Barado Medesak B'Sod Olam Arishon Shal Tikun Arishon Dedicted to Eric Anpin. So this which you say is going to Bella, the Ben Beor. Is this king, And he said that it's going to be what Shenisbarda of the Santa Besot Olam Arishon. So this is at the Tikuni Dikna of Erikanpin, which is the first Tikkun is Kale. So he said Rishal Tikkun Arishon the Dikna de Erikanpin. So then all the concept from this one place is where the whole concept of Keilim comes from, Ba'acharayim, but he uses two words. He says one is Keilim and the other one is Acharayim. The Kol Partzuf B'Cholomos Atachtayim V'Chem Shorish Hadinim B'Sod Nachash V'Tanim. So this one place here is where all the dinim come from. And the dinim are also looked at in the terms of what we said of the double language of snake. So now we have Keilim, we have the Acharayim. So Keilim is mashma Acharayim. So I'm not sure why he uses those two words, only maybe just to emphasize, I'm not sure. Nimshach Yenika the Klipos Besod Nachash. So this is where the strength of the Klipos comes from. It comes from this one place, Yenika the Klipos Besod Nachash. So that's the snake nursing or feeding off of this place. That these aspects, it spreads into all of the different universes from the top to the bottom. So he said, what again? He says this aspect of this snake, this place, because all in Ovi, all of the Partsufim are alike. So therefore, you're just getting further away from the core, but the basic functions are the same, and then he's saying that the snake is there too. So mispashtim, the rochav, the yamin, the small, besod chasad, megavuras, and the spreads. So it's so hard to hear how it is that the snake is spreading, but the spreads in the concept of the chasad and megavuras, which are found in Das. Bivora Sedek is Pashtusa B'Olomos Bri Yitzir Nasiya. So we're going to explain that too. We explain how they spread into the different worlds. Now, I'm playing around with this, and my camera stopped working. I don't know what to do. 1 second. I think it's because I disconnected with my foot. 1 second, please. I'm sorry.